Welcome back, everybody. Today we're here to talk about two sneak peeks we got for The Walking Dead Season 9 Episode 11 titled Bounty. One sneak peek is from AMC's YouTube channel, and then the other one was from last night's Talking Dead. Both really cool sneak peeks, both kind of go hand in hand, like right after each other, so we're going to break it down together in this video today. Before I begin discussing the sneak peek though, I will say spoiler warning if you aren't caught up with The Walking Dead, but other than that, let's get started. So the first sneak peek from The Talking Dead, it picks up immediately where episode 10 left off, with the group standing there and Alpha asking for her daughter, and Daryl says that we're not sending her back because Lydia told me what her mom does to her. So I really like that because it shows that Daryl has grown some sort of attachment. And not only that, it's common sense that you wouldn't send somebody back to, somebody who's been abusing them. So that makes perfect sense. But Tara does make a good point saying that what if she has Luke and Alden? They could be in danger, which she does. We see that later on in the next sneak peek that I'll discuss in a little bit. And then, Magnet says, did you hurt Luke and Alden? And Alpha just says no. But the thing I like about Alpha is that she doesn't talk that much, which I think adds a lot to her character also. Like, she just answers quickly, it's very straightforward and powers through it, and just observes and listens. Honestly, like completely the opposite of Negan. Negan talks a lot, Alpha just listens and just demands stuff. Which really shows like how powerful she knows her people are and how powerful she is. She's a demanding person. She doesn't ask or anything. Well, she is being cooperative here because in the earlier trailer we got, they made it seem like she was saying you crossed into our lands, there will be conflict, you killed our people, there will be conflict. But what she's actually saying is there will be no conflict, and then she says, if you don't give my daughter back, then yes, there will be conflict. So again, Alpha is definitely self-aware of how powerful she is, and she's there just to do business and wants her daughter. Now, Daryl obviously is not gonna, just hand her over that easily because, out of good conscience, obviously, she's getting abused by Alpha. There's no way he would do that until he finds out that she took Luke and Alden. But I also find really interesting as Alpha says, who's the leader here? And it was kind of funny because both Yumiko and Magnet just look at Daryl, but Daryl says, the hell does it matter? So Daryl still does not really consider himself a leader. He's kind of put into that position. And then the next sneak peek we got from The Talking Dead, this is the one where Daryl walks down to the gate to the hilltop and he confronts Alpha. And Daryl, like, in a way threatens Alpha, which, let me tell you right now, Daryl, that is not a smart move, dude. You do not want to piss off Alpha because he says that we got enough firepower to light you guys up all right here. Now, first of all, I think Daryl's just bluffing here because we haven't really seen them use guns that much this season, which I like. First of all, let me say that. I think, it makes sense because bullets are very rare nowadays, especially this deep into the apocalypse. Yeah, they can make some, but still, they're not going to be there. I'm sure they would prefer to use weapons instead of guns. Other weapons instead of guns. But yeah, Daryl is saying that, and Alpha just like completely quiet, which is what I mean. Like when Daryl threatens her, Alpha just staring right into his soul and just kind of making him uncomfortable, I think. But then we hear a baby crying, which I did not expect this. The Whispers are carrying babies around them, which is just wild. And Daryl kind of questions it, like, why would you bring a baby out here? And Alpha just says, like, she just straight up says we're animals and animals have babies, so we have babies out here. Which, man, like, I don't know, it's just so creepy. And then she just like kind of stares right into Daryl and says, now what were you saying? And she brings out Luke and Alden, and it's revealed that those two got captured and they're under Whisper masks. Now, I can't help but laugh at Luke's mask. I'm sorry, but this mask just looks super funny to me. Every time I look at it, I laugh. But yeah, they got brought out, and obviously they're put under Whisper masks. But man, Alpha's character is just so creepy, and I don't even have the words to explain it. But like, just the way, you can see really her, her philosophy of, who she is, and they really fleshed out her character, which I like. They did a lot better in the comics, to be honest. They gave her basically an entire flashback episode. And the creepy thing about her is that the world didn't really do this to her. Like, in a way, the world helped and definitely, escalated the process. But she was like early on, she became kind of crazy and a lot faster than anybody else, any other villain in the apocalypse. the world did this to her or did this to them, but you know, Alpha was like sort of low-key a little bit, you know, cuckoo before the apocalypse started. Just the apocalypse kind of helped with that. And then Alpha says that I want to propose a trade, and then the sneak peek ends off there. But I don't think the trade is gonna go smoothly. There's no way, you know, I just don't see Daryl being okay, let's trade, you know, because Daryl knows, you know, he's sort of grown an attachment to Lydia, and you know, out of, like I said before, out of good conscience, there's no way Daryl can send Lydia back to her abusive mother. Even in the promo footage we have for episode 11 from the trailer they gave us, we have, you know, the group is definitely going to be contemplating what to do, because there's going to be some people who are going to be like, you know, who gives a shit about Lydia, you know, we need our people, just like this random girl that we just met. And then there's gonna be people like Daryl and Henry who are attached to Lydia and know Lydia, and not really know Lydia, but like they know enough to know that, like Daryl said in the sneak peek, that, you know, we can't send her back, you know, her mom abuses her. And then, you know, Kelly and Enid, for example, are gonna definitely be like, no, we need to do the trade. You know, Enid is in a full-on relationship with Alden. Kelly, like we saw last episode, Luke is like really close to her, and there's gonna be a big situation, and I think Daryl's gonna have to make a big decision. But I think ultimately he's gonna give Lydia back to Alpha, because that'll definitely set up the story of, you know, Henry going after her. And we know Henry is going to be going after Lydia because we have trailers in the past and scenes and footage in the trailers. There's actually like a scene where we have Henry in the woods by himself with his stick, and he runs into he runs into Beta, which, let me say, I cannot wait for that episode. I don't know if it's gonna be episode 11, maybe episode 12 or something, and I don't know if it's gonna be Beta's first introduction. I actually think it would be a pretty cool introduction, you know, a Henry in the woods by himself following the whispers, and then he runs into Beta. Like, imagine how scared he would be, you know, this guy's like 6'5", and he just runs into you know, some big ass monster. But anyways, we also know Daryl is gonna be going after Daryl's probably gonna go after Henry, because Henry's going after Lydia. So it's gonna be a chain reaction of stuff. So ultimately, yeah, I'm pretty sure this trade is gonna go well, and you know, he's gonna have to be forced to trade over Lydia for his friends back. But like I said before, I don't think it's gonna be like smooth sailing. You know, they're not gonna just hand it over. I actually think Daryl might pull a quick one and try to fight back or something. I don't know. I just have a feeling he might, because, you know, he threatened them. You know, Daryl's obviously pissed off. You know, Daryl, you know, he's been abused by his father. So, you know, out of anybody there, Daryl's like, am I just gonna give this girl back to her mom, and I know that her mom's abusive? Like, I've been in her shoes before. I've been abused by a parent. It's not a life to have. And, you know, he's gonna be, I feel like Daryl might actually try fighting them back. And I'm a little scared though, because if he does do that, and I don't know if he's gonna do that, I'm just saying that if he does do that, Luke and Alden might, you know, one of them might end up dying, or maybe even both of them, which would cause, you know, Enid and Kelly to be pissed off at him. So a lot of shit can go down here if this trade does not go well. Some people are saying that Beta will make an appearance in this episode. I don't know if it's gonna happen, because I don't look a spoiler. I don't know where this information first came from. Let me know if it's confirmed or anything, because that would be awesome if we get Alpha and then Beta afterwards. But again, that seems like too good to be true that we get Beta this early. Because it could happen in this episode, maybe, you know, Henry running into Beta in the woods, and that would make a cool introduction for Beta. But again, Beta could maybe get introduced with the kingdom, and then that would be like a different episode. And it really depends how fast the episode moves along in terms of the trade. Like, does the trade automatically happen and they move on, and, you know, this Henry leaves in this episode, or does the trade take longer, like maybe the whole episode? And I don't know if that would take the whole episode. It really depends if the Hilltop fights back and Daryl doesn't want to give up Lydia. You know, then it would kind of, you know, take a little bit longer to get going. But if they do drop any promo images, and they most likely will, because they usually do that on Mondays, like the following day, and like some really good stills, I'll definitely make a video on that. But yeah, as far as these two sneak peeks in this little, you know, prom at the Hilltop, I definitely don't think it's gonna go well, because also in the other promo that we got, we have Alpha raising her hand, and then through binoculars we have like a bunch of other whispers coming in. So by the looks of it, it looks like only like a limited amount of whispers came to the actual gates, and that still looks like a lot of whispers. So when Daryl says you're not getting her, and she kind of gets a little angry, and maybe they're taking too long to decide, she's gonna call the other whispers to come in to kind of scare them and hurry up the process. But ultimately, yeah, the trade is gonna happen, and I don't think anybody's gonna die. I think the trade is gonna be okay. But let me know in the comments your thoughts on these sneak peeks. I am gonna wrap it up there. Hopefully you guys did enjoy this video. If you get any more sneak peeks or promo images or trailers or anything, I'll definitely do a breakdown for that, so stay tuned by hitting the subscribe button. Again, thank you guys for watching these videos. I truly do appreciate it, and I'll see you guys later.